There is always a first time for everything. First time at your new job, first time in a program, first time at school, first time at improving yourself or personal development. And in those circumstances, the first 90 days is what actually matters to you. And today we're going to talk about your first 90 days, how to make a real impression in a new terrain. Let's get started. So, day 19 of the Potently Summer Career Experience. This is what we're going to cover. And we're going to cover why the first 90 days in a role define your long-term trajectory. Secondly, we're going to look at how to build credibility and relationships before the probation ends. And thirdly is what high performance do differently in the first 3 months. So 90 days, that's roughly the window in which your professional reputation in a new role or in a school or in a program actually really do matters. Some organizations will give you 6 months, which is why 180 days in terms of the probation length. But you have the first meeting at 90 days, which is 3 months, and then the last one at 6 months. While some you have 30 days, 60 days, 90 progressively. That's once a month until the 6 month probation. But overall, on average, the first 90 days is what really matters, and that's the window in which your professional reputation is largely framed. First impressions and early contributions compound quickly in any institutional settings. And as someone who has been part of several programs, I've worked in over 5 multinational companies globally, I can tell you that 90 days is indeed the number of days you need to hit the ground running. So why the first 90 days define your trajectory? So your reputation is largely formed within the 90 days, and first impressions and early contributions compound really fast. Early credibility shapes the opportunity you are offered as later. And lastly, the probation isn't a settling phase, it's a proven ground. So you just have to hit the ground running with the right skills, right support, and right manager. So, why the first 90 days count? In short, reputation forms fast and it hardens quickly. Early wins compound and it's later open doors. Consistently, you need to be consistent with whatever you're building because that's what an effective trust banks on. And lastly, your probation is a genuine test, so treat it as one. So here's how to build credibility early. Number one is listen more than you speak, right? In month one, learn the culture before you try to change anything. Number two, deliver one visible win in the first 2 weeks. Meet your manager and your peers and one senior stakeholder in week one. So personally, for me, what I do at week one is if my manager is not already scheduling meetings, one-on-one meeting sessions with everyone in the team, I try to request that so that I can catch up with everyone, know what everyone is doing, because at the end of the day, that really connects to the bigger picture in terms of the company or the team's roles and vision, and it will even help you to know who to reach out to when you have or when you need assistance, so you can easily identify everyone's strengths and even sometimes weaknesses, and then you could really see where you could help someone to improve on their weakness. For instance, in the past I've once had a team where the manager is probably struggling with consolidating some of the processes that they have. It wasn't part of my role, but when I'm less busy, I just take that initiative, and then it was one of the most credible thing I've done in that role in that company then. So it's important, right? And then lastly is send brief weekly updates to your manager without being asked. Personally, I do send every Friday. I do send, oh, this is what I've done this week and this is what I want to do next week. Is there anything you want me to do else, or is there anything you want me to prioritize? And I do have an Excel tracker where I track my own progress and all of that. Okay, so start strong. You have to listen first before you change anything. Get a quick visible win within 2 weeks, latest 1 month. Map the people your manager. your peers, and one senior person, and update upward with brief notes. And shouldn't have to wait until you've been prompted before you do all of that. Okay. So, what do high performance do differently? It's simple. They do just four things. One, they ask, what does success look like at the 90 days, and they work to it. And they ask questions when they are not clear. So asking is usually the first thing. Number two is that they turn early feedback into fast, visible improvements. Okay. Number three is the manage upward proactively instead of waiting for direction. So they try to be proactive in their task, in their role, and try to get things done even before they are being given the full direction to do it. And number four, which is the last one, is that they convert early wins into trust, and trust into bigger responsibilities. Because if you can make an impact quickly, you're definitely going to earn the trust of your manager. And once your manager trusts you, then you get more responsibilities. And when you get more responsibility, you become more valuable, and you end up passing your probation and even getting a promotion. And if you're a contract staff, you end up becoming a permanent staff. If you're an intern, you progress like that. So you have to go further. These are the four things that top performers do. They define what their success is, they act on feedback, they manage simply by anticipating they do know it, and lastly, they convert their wins. So what I want you to do is that create a simple spreadsheet or a nation table. You update every week. You add your columns, add the rows, and then you review it weekly. If you want, I can send you my own personal one. So just let me know in your classroom. But I would love you to try this, because the essence of this is to make sure that you're able to do things yourself. Try to come up with an Excel sheet yourself. Send it to me to review. And if yours is if I feel you need my copy, then I'll give you. You might probably come up with something way better than mine. So I don't want to share mine immediately without because it sometimes will restrict your it's going to restrict your what's it called? It's going to restrict your creativity. So let me see what you've got. Next is for you to draft your 90-day plan. You need to start preparing that now. You need to list 3 milestones, what you will deliver. If it's in your class or you're still a student, you have to mention what you want to learn. And even if you're a recent graduate and you want to apply for a job, you need to really mention 3 things you want to achieve. Whatever your milestone is, just mention 3. And then 3 relationships will you build with. Is it that you need a mentor, or you need a learning partner, or you need anything? You need to list those 3 people. And once you start, make sure you list 3 wins. And you always ask just one question, which is, what does success look like in the first 90 days? So your action today is write a full day plan of your next role, your program, opportunity, scholarship. Even if it hasn't started yet, just start it. And then 3 milestones, 3 relationship, 3 visible contribution. Planning this early is a genuine competitive advantage. And for your reflection, think about what starting strong actually means to you, especially for your next opportunity. And that's day 19. See you tomorrow, Friday, which is the last daily winning. And on the weekend, we're going to have practical sessions and our concluding speaker on Sunday. And I'm excited as regards what you've all learned so far, but at the same time, kind of sad that the program is ending so real quick. 4 weeks can really come and go quickly, but hey, we've got a lot of things in place for you after this program. So stay tuned and see you tomorrow.